The Ship of Fools, Episode 11. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. The planet appeared on the view screen like a jewel dropped into the void, a lush sphere of emerald forests and shimmering golden plains wrapped in drifting clouds that glowed faintly as if lit from within. Even from orbit, the world radiated a strange, inviting warmth. Moxie leaned forward, studying the readings with a puzzled expression. Atmosphere's clean, gravity's stable, but the surface, it's covered in some kind of fibrous vegetation. She zoomed in, and the screen filled with a rippling field of golden strands that swayed in the wind like fur. "It looks soft," she murmured. Snipes squinted. "It looks like a giant cat bed." Banning rubbed his temples. "Let's just hope whatever lives down there doesn't shed." Aurora's voice carried a note of caution. "Commander, I must advise—" But the PP-608 was already descending through the atmosphere, engines humming as they cut through the glowing clouds. The landing. The landing pad was unlike anything they'd seen, a circular platform woven from thick golden fibers that compressed gently under the ship's weight. When the crew stepped out, the ground gave slightly beneath their boots, warm and springy, almost alive. Snipes crouched and pressed his hand into it, grinning. "It's like stepping on a heated blanket." Before Banning could scold him for touching things, a deep, resonant voice rolled across the clearing. "Welcome, travelers." They turned as one. A procession approached, towering figures, each one a humanoid feline standing nearly 8 feet tall. Their fur shimmered in the sunlight, patterned in stripes, spots, and swirling colors. Their movements were impossibly graceful, each step silent, each gesture deliberate. At their center walked a figure taller and more regal than the rest, her silver coat gleaming like moonlit metal. "I am Queen Felinara," she announced, her voice a rich purr that vibrated through the air. Her eyes, enormous, golden, and unblinking, fixed on Banning with unsettling intensity. "And you," she added, circling him slowly, "are intriguing." Banning stiffened. Thank you?" She inhaled deeply, as though sampling his scent. "You carry the aroma of courage and mild panic." Snipes whispered, "She's sniffing you, Commander." Moxie whispered back, "She likes what she smells." Banning whispered, "Please stop whispering." The Palace of Paws. The Queen insisted they accompany her to the palace, a sprawling structure of woven vines, polished stone, and towering scratching post pillars carved with intricate patterns. Servants padded silently across the floors, their tails swaying in perfect rhythm. The air smelled faintly of lavender and something distinctly feline. Inside the grand dining hall, cushions replaced chairs, arranged around a low table laden with dishes that shimmered with iridescent colors. Banning sank into a cushion that swallowed him almost entirely, while Moxie and Snipes disappeared even deeper. Queen Felinara lounged on a raised platform, her tail curling lazily around her. "Eat," she commanded, gesturing to the feast. "You will need your strength." Banning eyed a bowl of something that looked suspiciously like a giant hairball. "Strength for what, exactly?" "For courtship," she replied as though it were obvious. He choked. "Courtship?" The Queen rose to her full height, towering over him. "Christopher Banning of the Federation," she declared. "I choose you as my royal consort." Snipes inhaled sharply, nearly swallowing a piece of glowing fish whole. Moxie froze mid-bite, eyes wide. Banning stood so fast his cushion flipped. "Your Majesty, I'm honored, truly, but I'm not— I can't. I'm very flattered, but—" "You refuse me?" Her ears flattened, and the room's temperature seemed to drop. "No. Yes. I'm not refusing, I'm just declining. Politely." The queen's tail lashed once, a sharp, dangerous movement. "Guards!" she hissed. "Seize my beloved!" Banning yelped. "I'm not your beloved!" The escape. The palace erupted into chaos as feline guards lunged toward them, their spears tipped with glowing claws. Moxie grabbed Banning by the arm and pulled him into a sprint. Snipes stumbling behind them, clutching a cushion he refused to abandon. They tore through hallways lined with enormous portraits of past rulers, all cats, all majestic, all staring down with judgmental eyes. Servants scattered as the trio barreled past, knocking over decorative yarn sculptures and sliding across polished floors. Aurora's voice crackled through their comms. "Commander, the Queen has initiated a planetary lockdown. You must reach the ship immediately." "We're trying!" Banning shouted, dodging a guard who leapt from a balcony with the grace of a predatory ballerina. They burst into a courtyard filled with yarn balls the size of hover cars. Snipes tripped over one, Moxie tripped over Snipes, and Banning tripped over both, sending them tumbling into a heap. Above them, Queen Felinara appeared on a balcony, her silhouette framed by the sun. "If you wish to leave," she declared, "you must complete the trial of claws." Banning groaned. "Of course we must." The trial of claws. The ground trembled as an arena rose from the earth, a massive circular pit filled with obstacles clearly designed for creatures far more agile than humans. Towers of rotating scratching posts spun at dizzying speeds. Pits of soft sand shifted unpredictably. Giant dangling toys swung overhead like wrecking balls. A laser pointer darted across the ground, taunting them. "This is a cat obstacle course," Moxie muttered. "We're going to die in a cat obstacle course," Snipes replied. The gong sounded. Banning charged forward, determined to prove himself. He dodged left, dodged right, then was immediately smacked in the face by a rotating platform. Moxie attempted to leap across a sand pit, but sank waist-deep into it. Snipes, despite his best intentions, spent a full 30 seconds chasing the laser pointer before realizing what he was doing. Queen Felinara watched with growing disappointment. "You are not very agile," she observed. Banning, panting, shouted back, "I'm doing my best." "Your best is not very inspiring," she replied. The final test. The last obstacle was a massive yarn ball suspended over a pit. They had to swing across. Banning grabbed the yarn ball, only for it to unravel instantly, sending him plummeting into the pit. Moxie and Snipes fell in after him, landing in a tangled heap of fibers. The Queen sighed, her tail flicking with regal annoyance. "You have failed every test." Banning groaned. "Then let us go." She paused, studying him with a mixture of frustration and reluctant admiration. Finally she purred. "Very well. I release you, with a heavy heart." Banning blinked. "Really?" "For now," she added ominously. The departure. Back aboard the PP-608, Banning collapsed into his chair, exhausted and emotionally scarred. Moxie sat beside him, brushing stray fibers from her uniform. "You okay?" "No," he said. "I was almost married to a 9-foot cat queen." Snipes flopped into his seat. "Could have been worse." "How?" Banning asked. "She could have had claws for hands." Aurora chimed in. "Commander, she did." Banning groaned. "I need a vacation." "Statistically," Aurora replied, "you need therapy." End of episode 11. To be continued.